Hello, Kendall. I'm glad you're
You're right.
smiling.
Yeah, I don't
Try
know why I'm
turning you up.
smiling. I don't know why I'm
Uh,
smiling, to be honest.
Did you turn that off at half time? Did you? You got over it now. You calmed down. Is that why you're smiling?
I've calmed down a little bit because obviously I saw it coming when they played Chelsea last week. Like I said, they looked bright. They looked like they were going to cause us a few problems. Lamptey is an absolute unreal talent at 19 years old. Had Jamal Lewis all over the place. Had St. Maximin all over the place. Just lost the plot. So I saw it coming. But then you always have the hope, don't you? And everyone was like gassing us up on Twitter, like, "Yeah, we're gonna win. And I was like, "Okay, I'm not one for optimism." But,
I think we're all gassed up after comfortably beating West Ham. I know it's only West Ham, but like the way we played, that formation, the new boys who were scoring on the debuts, even Fraser during the week in the cup. So to come back down to earth like that is a bitter pill to swallow. But if you know that Lamptey is a talent and a threat, why doesn't Steve Bruce and the players know that? Because it's like they don't know who he is. There was no game plan today to even.
Exactly. I tweeted earlier saying, first of all, 4-4-2 was the completely wrong formation. All he's done is he's thought, oh, right, we've beat West Ham with this formation and this team. Let's just do it again. He hasn't done no research whatsoever on Brighton because clearly he didn't even sort of realise that they were more of a threat than West Ham because West Ham are clearly very bad. If we've beat them. He didn't have a look at the formation was way too flat. We were playing way too deep, which meant that they were on in their our half more and they were obviously on goal more. We played absolutely terribly. We played no attacking football. We had barely any touches. We didn't have no shots on target. Matt Ryan may as well have just sat down for the whole game because what was there? We were on goal Wilson. Obviously, Fraser was going to put a pass in for Wilson. Ended up back to them straight away, counter attack. It was just it was dire. Obviously Bruce and his team haven't done the research beforehand, which has showed today massively. You can't just keep with a formation because you're winning. You can't just keep with the team because you're winning. You've got to look tactically at every game. Like anyone who follows football knows that it's not something that is hard to understand. You know what I mean? But obviously he said in the past that he's not a tactician and he doesn't believe in tactics. So what can you expect, really?
Well, if only he did, because he's the one that's going to hold us back this season, because we're all pleased about the signing of Wilson, Fraser, Lewis, even Hendrick on a free, astute signing. It's going to be the likes of Brucey is he going to drag into another relegation battle this year?
Well, at the start of the season when we'd all signed the few new players and we looked good against West Ham and I thought, we might be all right this year. But looking at that today, if he doesn't start booking his ideas up, changing it if it's going wrong, because for me, St. Maximin was brought off 15 minutes too late. He looked like he was injured and uninterested. Head went straight down after the first penalty. He is going to hold us back because I know that there's players there that want to play. Despite what we looked like today, we looked uninterested, we looked lazy, we just didn't have a clue. That's probably partly down to tactics and players not knowing where they're meant to be as well. Because, he had St. Maximin defending before he got brought off, which was a strange decision, knowing that he's our most creative player going forward. So, if he doesn't book his ideas up and start realising that there's levels to it, you can't just keep with the same because you're winning, you've got to do your research beforehand, then we're going to have a hard time, unfortunately, and it's like a crash back to reality after last week.
Definitely. I get what you're saying about Bruce, and I blame him as well, but surely the players have got to take some blame today because I don't think anyone can really hold the head up high and just say they tried today. Everyone's backing up, giving Brighton the freedom of St. James's Park. It was appalling, really, disgraceful.
It was disgraceful. As I've just said, they looked completely uninterested. They looked like they didn't know where they were meant to be playing. Andy Carroll wasn't even up front for half of it. He was playing somewhere between the defence and the midfield for some odd reason. Not one positive out of that game today. The most positive thing about that game today was Lamptey getting taken off. How bad does a game have to be for the highlight of your game for the opposition's team player to be taken off? That's how bad it was.
we were literally cheering for him to hopefully be injured. Obviously not long term, we're not that bad, but like just for the game, just for him to just be out of that game, because he was their danger man. But as long as he's still on the field, we had no chance. Even if he went off, we probably didn't, because like you say, 0 shots on target at home to Brighton.
Yeah, absolutely. It was disgraceful considering we've had like this sort of odd rivalry for a good few years since we were in the Championship. And obviously we won the Championship on the last day over them, and we've had this like sort of funny rivalry with them for a few years. I thought now's the chance, we'll beat them. And then obviously after I saw them play Chelsea last week, I thought that's not going to be as easy as we think. And it clearly wasn't today. I mean, you can't just let them have free run at St James's and do what they've done today, because they made us look really, really, really bad. And I don't know if we are really, really bad. We probably are. But, I mean, we didn't look that bad against West Ham. So,
yeah,
it's odd. Like, they just looked like a miles better than us. And I know, like, obviously a lot of people on Twitter have been saying that, like, Graham Potter's obviously a more modern manager. He's got, more tactical modernisation to his game. He knows what to do, how to change it. And I do agree, because, like, as I've just said before, Bruce is not a tactician clearly and hasn't done his tactical research prior to the game. So, yeah, I don't think, honestly, not one person can be applauded today, apart from, I must say, Miguel Almiron, because when he came on, the game was slightly more in our favour, sorry. So he was the only one that looked like he wanted to be there. He was the only one that actually tried to do anything. I mean, Shelby had a horrific game today. Jamal Lewis looked so bad, although I hope he's all right after his ridiculous head injury towards the end. Yeah, it was just a shambles from top to bottom today. I just don't have anything good to say about it at all, to be honest.
And just a matter of Spurs and Gareth Bale in the Premier League next.
Yeah, I don't know whether he's going to be fit, but I hope he's not, because, oh my Lord. Well, to be honest, it wouldn't even matter, because, I mean, Son had a cracking game today. He scored 4 goals, so Lord above what we're going to do next week if Brighton have scored 3 against us. I just don't even want to watch it. I don't think I'll make plans that day so I don't have to watch it. But we know what we like. We just will watch it, because that's just what we like. We have to put ourselves through some sort of pain.
Of course, the World Man will beat Morecambe 1-0, then we'll get hyped up for Spurs again and get thrashed off there.
We'll think we've done better, and Steve Bruce will think that his tactical decisions is to start putting Murphy on. Like, literally, that'll be what happened. It'll just be ridiculous. Like, he'll completely change the team, and it'll just go downhill again, because he's completely changed it. So you just can't win. But you can't put all the blame on him, as we've said. It's the players' fault as well today. So
yeah,
but hopefully wish for better this coming week.
Fingers crossed. Right, cheers, Kendall. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Bye.
See you later.